Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to be doing the July 8th through the 15th weekly tarot reading for the sign of Leo. We're going to get right into it with the usual Romance Angel Oracle deck and pull out your two cards, Leo. So if you're just breezing through, surfing the web, and you're not a regular here, I do weekly readings for the signs. And these weeklies look into whatever relationship or dynamic you're dealing with this week, right? That's going to take center stage. So it could be a dynamic at work with a colleague or a boss. It could be a friendship. It could be a lover situation, right? It could be meeting a lover, right? But whatever is kind of the main event, right? For you this week, we're going to try and take a deeper look at it, all right? So if you've managed to land on this video today, welcome, Leos. All right, and let's get right into getting your two cards out. All right, so I pulled two cards for you and your person that you're dealing with in this main event. Wow, you can see how used these cards are. It's time to get a new deck soon. They don't make cards like they used to. All right, so reconciliation and stay optimistic. All right, it says stay optimistic about your love life. But in this case, you know, we can also interpret this in other ways depending on whatever the relationship is, right? So this card could be, either card could be for you, right? Or both of you, right? Vice versa. All right, a little bit of both. So we won't really know until we get into your spread. I'm going to pull your 7 cards out. Your main card to embody the relationship, the energies of the relationship. And then your 3 cards and your person's 3 cards. We'll take a look at how you guys are feeling about yourselves, each other, and the relationship. All right? So, show me what's going on with Leo this week. Those Leos who happened on this video, show me a clear picture, clear story about the main event in their life when it comes to others in this week. Show me. All right, Leo. Let's see. I love Leos. I have a moon in Leo myself, so I definitely resonate with Leo energy. It's beautiful, strong energy, hence the 8 is your card. You show up, the relationship shows up, main card with the Magician. Wow, all right. So you, Leo, you have 6 of Pentacles for you. Knight of Wands for your person that you'll be dealing with in this main event. And the Moon represents the relationship. Your person has 8 of Cups for themselves. 4 of Cups for you. And the World as the relationship. Interesting. So 9 of Pentacles. Wow. All right, so this is certainly about a love relationship, right? 9 of Pentacles indicates, so 9 is the number of kind of, you know, self-realization, our own relationship with ourselves, right? How we look at ourselves, what we think of ourselves, right? 9 in the major arcana is the Hermit. So there you go. It's all about, you know, self-realization, doing that spiritual work, that emotional work, really getting to understand who we are, having a real relationship with ourselves. And that also indicates being alone or doing things in solitude, right? So 9 of Pentacles, you have a woman alone in the Garden of Abundance, right? She is at that stage where she's accomplished many things in her life, right? She's a master, you know, being able to have control over the fowl, the birds, right? And she has abundance in her garden. She has, you know, grapes everywhere, which indicate richness, luxury, right? And plenty of pentacles, right? She's very similar to the Queen of Pentacles in that way. But she's alone in the garden. And so there is that kind of like, wanting to realize, in fact, realizing that what is abundance, true abundance, unless you have somebody to share it with. Also, it can indicate sometimes when you have been alienated from others because of your abundance, right? It may be that, you know, you may just be in a a status, right? A financial level or status that is much more abundant than perhaps your friends or maybe even others in your family, right? And it's not to say that you're a snob or you're an elitist in any way, but you just have more money than them. And that can cause alienation because it can separate you physically from people who can't really always follow you where you go. They don't have the funds for it, and you can't pay for everyone, right? And it can alienate you from others who are just simply envious or jealous, or they have self-esteem issues because of the difference, and so they can't really be your friend even though you might want to be their friend, right? So it can indicate those type of issues, crossing those kind of boundaries, you know, those type of obstacles, I want to say, actually, right? Those obstacles in relationship where finances is the obstacle, right? The difference in finances, the fact that you have more and perhaps they don't have as much as you, right? And so it's also kind of heartbreaking sometimes when you think about this character, because it is like, for the best intentions, sometimes they are alienated. So it's just a general little energy that is running through this. So you want to consider how money may be playing into the factor here with this individual. All right. Certainly, it doesn't have to be a strong factor. It doesn't have to all be about money, but it could be it's very interesting. Seems to indicate to me that one of you has a different kind of financial status, and that could possibly play into some of the emotions. But you have the Magician as your main card for the relationship. So that means that the relationship is certainly has the quality and character of being able to change, being able to evolve into what you both want, right? The Magician is the great manifester. And so if this is the overall energy of the relationship, you know, it's really down to you to manifest the relationship in the vision that you have for it. You know what I mean? What you envision, both of you can together create. Together, right? So it's almost as if you work in unison as the Magician, manifesting your own relationship. So that is, certainly stay optimistic, because it's really all about what you put into it, right? That means reconciliation is always available, because it's about whether or not both of you are willing to come to the table. If you are, you will manifest a harmonious solution to whatever problem. If you aren't, then you'll just manifest being apart. You know, the Magician manifests his intention. So it's very much about you guys coming together with a unified intention if you're having issues with the love mate right now. Six of Pentacles. I'm sorry for any background noise. I do live in the city on the East Coast, so I got buses going by my window. Six of Pentacles is your card for yourself, Leo. So yeah, certainly you are. This fits very much in with this energy I was thinking here about Nine of Pentacles, right? Certainly you are very, you're at a level now where you're doing well, right? You got a certain amount of affluence, you have a nice level of money coming in. I'm not saying that you're a millionaire, you're stupendously wealthy, but you're well off. Right? You're well off. You can do what you want to do. You can provide charity. And Six of Pentacles is when you have a very good, it's when you have a very harmonious relationship with the material plane. Okay, Pentacles, a lot of people, Pentacles, yes, it represents money, and, you know, coins, but ultimately it is the material plane, all things material. So Six of Pentacles can, six being the number of journey towards harmony, right? Seeking harmony in all things. Right? They call it the journey towards harmony, but six is about when we decide to seek harmony in everything that we do, right? In something that we're doing. So here in Six of Pentacles, we seek to have a harmonious relationship with our wealth and how we see abundance. And so that provides for somebody who can be charitable, not a miser. Not someone who is also gullible and can be taken advantage of, but somebody who understands when to give, you know, who understands that they can give, how, you know, they are very generous, right? They don't hold on to money for money's sake. And you, I feel this is you, right? So you have abundance, you have wealth, but you're not a miser, you're not stingy, you're not elitist, you don't have this kind of highfalutin, they used to call it highfalutin attitude about it. You're very kind, you're very generous, but also this is coming up for you as your own card, how you see yourself. And surely in this reading with this relationship, it's also how you see yourself in a certain way in this relationship. And so it can be the flip side of this is just the extreme, where it could be that you're feeling like you've been taken advantage of a little bit, right? Could be. Because with this money issue here, it could be that you felt a little bit like either you've been taken advantage of by this person financially, or they've done something where, you know, it's cost you a bit financially and it's really hurt your feelings perhaps. And it could just be that you're feeling, or it could be just that you're feeling like you want to help them, right? It could be very much like you're feeling like you wanting to help them, but there is a little bit of apprehension there, right? But for the most part, the main energy here is that you yourself certainly are at a point where you're doing well and you can help those around you if you choose to, and you're feeling very comfortable financially, right? Now, your individual is seeing themselves very much in love. You know, they're in love. They feel in love right now, Ace of Cups. So they're, you know, this is how they see themselves. So it could be, not only do they see themselves as kind of being in love, it could also be like they see themselves as being kind of the object of love, right? So it could very much be like this person is a little bit conceited almost, maybe, right? They could be a bit conceited. They could come off a little bit like they're the prize. You know what I'm saying? Because it's funny to identify or to see yourself as Ace of Cups, to be identified with that. It is to a certain degree a little bit of like seeing yourself as the cup, right? Seeing yourself as you know, the one that's worth fighting for, the one that's worth loving. You know, everybody loves me. That's kind of, you know, there's always an extreme to every card, and there's always kind of an admonishment or warning to many cards. Rarely does a card not have some kind of warning or something to, not, I don't even want to say warning, but just admonishment, something to keep an eye on, right? And so certainly with this, that can be that kind of tendency to be conceited. It can also be they feel very much in love, though, right? They're a card for you, though. Let's get back to your card, because interesting. I don't want to jump to this until you know how you see them. Knight of Wands actually is, so you're feeling quite good right now. You're feeling like you're doing very well. It's also a sense of confidence, right? And you're also seeking, not, you know, I think you're also, not only do you understand that you can help people and you're willing to help people, but I think Six of Pentacles, like I say, it is harmonious. So you're also not willing to really indulge people who are going to be too much of a, you know, sucking on your energy, sucking on your money, like just people who are going to take advantage of that, right? You also are, like, for instance, you're not seeking to be with a bum, a lay around, somebody who doesn't want to work, right? So you have a certain criteria as well. You want somebody who's also going to be ambitious, work for their money, and be generous, you know what I mean? And have that kind of wholesome attitude towards money. So you see them as the Knight of Wands, interestingly enough. So you see them coming in like a knight in shining armor. They're coming in quite brash. You know, they're coming in with a lot of passion, which is interesting because this is what I said about the Ace of Cups, right? I feel like this individual you're dealing with very much sees themselves as like the Don Juan, sees themselves as like, you know, the fountain of love. It's quite funny, you know. It's like I can imagine this person being the one who kind of comes in the room with, you know, he charges in, he comes in, busts open the doors, he thinks he's the shit, he thinks everybody's going to be sort of into him or her, right? That, you know, she is just the fountain of love for everyone, you know, that everyone's, you know, going to be turned on by him or her. And so it's interesting that you see them coming in as a Knight of Wands, because I do feel like in this instance, yeah, you see them coming in quite brash and bravado in a way, right? But there's things behind the scenes, and I think you see through them as well. Now listen, if this is a long-term relationship, right, I feel like, these are not nefarious energies here, okay? These are very kind of light-hearted in a way. When I say this about this individual, I feel intuitively that they're not a bad person at all. They're not the type of person who truly wants to hurt anyone or hurt anybody's feelings. They're not trying to take advantage of you or anyone else, right? This is certainly, and I'm going to say, and I'm not saying this for those of you, like, okay, so if you're dealing with somebody, right, where they act as if they are quite mean, right? Don't misinterpret this to mean that I'm saying that they don't mean it because they're hurt, or they don't mean what they're saying, or they don't mean how badly they treat you because they've got all kinds of past problems. Don't confuse that, right? I'm talking about a person. This person is legitimately a good-hearted person. You have experience of them being a good-hearted person, right? You have, but their bravado when they come in the room is comical. It can be quite comical. They are sexy. People do love them. People enjoy being around them, right? But a lot of this is bravado, right? And so this is what I'm trying to say in terms of this Knight of Wands. They certainly do come in to you, and you see that. You not only do you see through their act, and you see deeper into them, you see underneath the bravado that they're actually a very kind-hearted, right, individual. They're a very sweet, nurturing kind of person. They're actually quite emotional. You know what I mean? But yeah, on the outside, they come in as this, you know, man-eater or this Don Juan, you know, and you love both sides of them, I feel, right? I do think that you're attracted to both sides. However, something has happened. And so that's what I'm saying about a long-term relationship. If you're involved with somebody, if you're resonating with this and you're in a relationship, you know, this is what I'm saying. This is what the relationship is like, right? They're not bad. You know, you guys, this is not necessarily a toxic relationship about how you two are. However, reconciliation is on the table, and so is stay optimistic. So somewhere along the line, something's happened. Now we get into that. Your person feels a little bit kind of like, you're not giving them enough. You know, they feel like you're not giving them enough. They're sitting there. They're four of cups. You know, 4 is stable. They want more stability, right? They want more. Usually, 4 in general is the number for stability. And so here, generally, this card can indicate, the general interpretation here is that's, you know, you've had enough instability before, and now you are being very patient, being very stable internally, and willing to wait for a cup or an offer of love that proves to be stable. Right? Where somebody proves a bit more than just handing you an empty cup without anything. I mean, this cup comes out of nowhere, right? And so it's kind of like the person is unwilling to take it because now you're starting to realize that you need to have criteria for people. You need to have people step to the plate. Show me a bit more before I jump into it. I've already jumped into 3 cups before and I was very unhappy, right? So that's the general interpretation, but I think in this case, if you are involved with this person, it's not so much that they're not willing to take the cup because you guys are together. It's that they're just pissed off because they feel like you haven't been filling it up. They're irritated because they feel like you haven't been filling it up, and they may have been acting really irritated with you lately. They may have been very kind of not themselves with you lately, right? You may have been seeing them lately a lot more like Knight of Wands because they've been acting out a lot more. They've been a lot more kind of brash, and there's been a lot more bravado and a lot more kind of, you know what I mean? They're just acting out. There's just everything about their personality that you normally think is quite cute or whatever, you know, is kind of being extreme. And so right now, you guys either now or up until now or most recently haven't really been seeing eye to eye. You know what I'm saying? You haven't really, and that's the intuitive reading, right? That you just haven't been seeing eye to eye, and you don't know, you see the relationship as the moon because you're just not quite sure what's going on. You're not quite sure what's happening with them. You're not quite sure why they're acting this way, right? you know, you're not quite, you know, you feel like they're hiding something. You feel like they're not being honest with you about their feelings, right? You feel like, you know, you just feel like something's going on here. And they're not telling you that they're irritated, right? They're not telling you that they're irritated, or they're not necessarily, they're just being quite stubborn. You're just like, what the hell's going on? So it feels very moon energy, like very hidden, very kind of obscured, like what, you know? And so they also feel the relationship, the world. So they're feeling very kind of, this person's very dramatic. Okay, so they're very much like, oh God, you know, our relationship, you know, they're feeling very dramatic. They may have been crying a lot more lately. They may have been kind of like, through all this acting out back at home when you guys are together, they might have been, you know what I want to think of? I think of that movie, The Birdcage, you know, with Robin Williams and his friend, his lover, or his husband actually, right? Who's, I'm so sorry, I forget the actor's name. But he was always, that's what I see. It's like that kind of scenario, and it doesn't matter what the genders are, but it's like that. That's this person, right? That's Robin Williams' husband. That's this person. You know, they're always very dramatic. You know, as soon as they have any little disagreement, you know, he starts crying, and you know, but he's still so very much in love with Robin Williams, right? And then sometimes he feels like Robin Williams doesn't spend enough time with him. You know what I'm saying? That is exactly the kind of energy that I'm thinking that is going on here. And that's why I'm giggling throughout this whole thing. And I don't mean to make light of it, but I can just feel that this is resonating with that kind of couple. And you generally have a very magical relationship. You guys are absolutely, just like that couple, very perfect for each other, right? You both manifest. Depending on how you act with each other, you manifest. And so that's why I'm saying stay optimistic. Reconciliation, just talk to them. Honestly, at the end of the day, just talk to them. You know, have this conversation. Remember, if you're resonating this, remember who you're dealing with. Now listen, if you're not together and you're a single Leo, this can also be for you and someone where you guys have not quite yet cemented your relationship, right? So it's not necessarily reconciliation, but just stay optimistic. So if you're single, it could very much be the same thing, right? You see each other very much in the same way. Only you're not together. And the reason why you're not together is because this one is being stubborn. They feel like you're not, you know, you're not 100% there. And you could be very much feeling like, are they just all bravado? You know, do they really care? You know what I mean? And so you're also kind of on the fence because you don't really know what all's going on. You don't really know, like, you know, you want to see more about this person. You want to understand more because you feel as though you don't see enough, right? And they are feeling very much like, oh, wow, you know, I've met, you know, they feel like you're perfect for them. Because the world is like, just, when you're in touch with the world, it's like you are exactly where you should be in your life with destiny, karma. You're burning off karma. You're creating new karma. So when they feel like this about you, about their relationship with you, they feel like this is a once-in-a-lifetime relationship, a relationship that's meant to be, a relationship that's part of their life path and destiny and karmic path and destiny, right? So they feel really dramatic about it. You know what I mean? They love you. They feel like they're in love, right? Again, they're very dramatic. And when they think about themselves right now in relation to you, they're in love, right? So, and you guys may not have come together just yet. And the advice here is the same. Talk to each other. Just talk to each other. It's very much just simply that. Come together, you know. They're being stubborn. If you're willing to come forward to them and just forget about all of this knight in shining armor, knight of wands, bravado, right? You know, reach out to them. And also, they won't be able to stay mad at you for very long. Eventually, they're going to have to say something to you because this is kind of very temporary, very dramatic kind of energy where they're just like, huh. They're not paying attention to me, so I'm not going to talk to them. You know what I mean? But it doesn't last because they love you. They're Ace of Cups with you, right? So that's the reading. I'm going to call it, Leo. This is a very good reading for a very, very wonderful couple out there who just need to get it together and talk to each other. Whether they're together now or soon to be together, if you resonate with this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So if you enjoyed this, if you resonated with it, please comment below, subscribe to my channel, like, and hit that bell. Do all of that good stuff to help me grow my channel. That way I can do more and more readings for you guys, which I really enjoy doing. All right, so this is lovely. Leos, I love you so much. I'm almost jealous of this relationship because it does seem at its very heart to be very, very lovable and kind. All right, but this is July 8th to the 15th, and enjoy your week. See you next week. Bye-bye.